Thanks, Jennifer. Here's what has happened so far in the NHL deadline day. To begin with today's transactions, there have been a few moves. Although it isn't directly a trade, it's worth mentioning that former Nashville Predators captain Mike Fisher is heading back to the Music City. The 37-year-old centerman will earn $1 million for the remainder of the year. He had to sign before the deadline is up at 3 p.m. Eastern to be eligible for the upcoming playoffs. Johnny Oduya is picked up by the Philadelphia Flyers, and Chris Stewart is heading out west to Calgary. The Las Vegas Golden Knights make their first ever trade deadline deal, sending over forward Brendan Leipsic to the Vancouver Canucks for defenseman Philip Holm. Leipsic was claimed from the Toronto Maple Leafs by the Golden Knights in the expansion draft. He has 2 goals and 13 points in 44 games. As for Philip Holm, he spent most of his time playing in the AHL for the Utica Comets. He has 29 points in 42 games. In the biggest deal so far today, the St. Louis Blues give away Paul Stastny to the Winnipeg Jets for a 1st and 4th round pick, as well as prospect Eric Foley. Stastny has spent the past 4 years in St. Louis since he moved there from Colorado in 2013-2014 season. Currently this season, Stastny holds 12 goals and 28 assists to his name. St. Louis have been struggling thus far in the season, currently sitting outside a playoff spot. The Nashville Predators make their second splash of the day, acquiring Ryan Hartman from the Chicago Blackhawks and a 5th round pick, for a 1st and 4th round pick in 2018, plus Victor Ejdsell. The 23-year-old winger was drafted 30th overall from the Blackhawks in 2013. Hartman has 8 goals and 17 assists this year, another solid move from the Preds today. Ian Cole didn't even get to put on a Senators uniform. The defenseman from the Pittsburgh Penguins was dealt in the Derek Brassard deal a few days ago. He has been shipped out over to Columbus for a 3rd round draft pick in 2020, and forward Nick Mutry. The former St. Louis Blues 1st round draft choice back in 2007 has won the Stanley Cup twice with the Penguins in the past 2 years. The prospectus Toronto Maple Leafs acquired veteran centerman Thomas Plekanec from the Montreal Canadiens. Now the Habs send over forward Kyle Bond in the deal, and the Leafs transfer 2nd round draft pick and prospects Kirby Reichel and Rinat Valiev. Plekanec was drafted in the 3rd round, 8th overall by the Canadiens in 2001. In 981 games played, he has 605 points. He is expected to play tonight in Tampa Bay. The Boston Bruins make a big splash over the weekend. They send over a 1st round and 7th round pick, Ryan Spooner, Matt Bolesky, and Ryan Lindgren to the New York Rangers in exchange for forward Rick Nash. The Rangers will retain 50% of Nash's $7.8 million salary. It's a steep price to pay for the Bruins, who are looking for a run deep into the playoffs this season. Boston currently sit 3rd in the Atlantic, 1 point behind Toronto. Now the 33-year-old Brampton, Ontario native has 18 goals and 10 assists in 60 games this year. Nash will be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. He made his Bruins debut yesterday against the Sabres. Boston have also signed veteran forward Brian Giunta to bolster their squad. That's all the updates for now. Keep an eye on Skedline Twitter for other updates that are going to be posted about other news today in the NHL trade deadline.